Oh my God, fucking T-Rock. Just throwing the whole thing off. Welcome into
Right away,
another
baby.
Tuesday
Right away.
night
Come on,
AMA.
baby.
Welcome into another Tuesday night AMA. These fucking YouTube comments from him always get me every time. But
T-Rock.
so fucking glad you guys could join us again. We got a hell of a lot to talk about. First off, though, my partner, man, how you doing, Adam? You even put the Cam Akers jersey on. Not only do you make the dope thumbnail, you just come out swinging.
We got a lot to talk about, man, but my sit boy had to have a word with you guys week 3. I mean, it could have been a bigger week. We got to cut the fumbles down, right? And the pass pro is certainly an issue, but you're seeing it. It's happening. It's starting to happen. Everybody that was, saying the guy was buried after week 1 because he didn't play. Oof.
Yeah, Daryl Henderson did a lot of sitting. I know that much. Man, we're riding the pine quite a bit. What, 4 touches? Good for him.
In the words
Bravo,
of 50,
buddy.
Go on, get your refund, motherfucker. I ain't dead.
I just looking at that thumbnail, man. I keep thinking of that line in Deadpool where he's like, "Hello, God? Is that you? It's me, Margaret."
Oh, man.
I'm sorry.
7 goat rings. We just had to sing your praises on the damn, trade show we just did. And he got Cam after week 1 for TDP and 2/3, Mike. And he was told he was wrong. He was told he's an idiot.
That's probably 2/3 too many, right? How dare you? TDP's going to the moon, right? With no Elijah Mitchell.
Mike, we saw a trade after week 1 where it was Pollard for Akers plus. So there's probably somebody saying TDP over Akers, right? I mean,
good lord, man, you got to feel good though, right? Kind of the way I felt after week 1 with Antonio Gibson, and I'm just warning you, man. The 2 weeks following haven't been great. So if you want to take your victory, enjoy it. Enjoy this week.
I just want to make sure it's said.
Just in case.
I just want to make sure it's said because they play Frisco next week. He still got 50% of the snaps, right? I'll tell you where I was wrong. Let me start where I was wrong. I assumed after the 2020 season, and I said in my video that, part of the upside for me was I think he earned and showed that he earned the pass pro trust. Clearly, that has been an issue and is something that's not the case. If you go back and look at Twitter, certainly had it, but if you go back and watch, there was a play versus the Bills where he totally bailed out when a giant defensive tackle is coming to just crush your quarterback. Like you cannot have that, right? So there was pass pro trust issues, and even there, I mean, Darrell Henderson took all the third down work. So that is an issue, and then obviously the fumble at the goal line again. That's what costs him the workhorse role that McVay threw him into after the Achilles tear in that Tampa game. So he's got to cut down on the turnovers. Fumbling the football, that's another Gibson theme, right? Like those two guys have that in common. If they can just keep the damn football secure, they'll be in good shape. So that's where I was wrong. But like when you see that touchdown versus the Cardinals, Mike, there was something on Twitter. I'd encourage you all to go take a look at it. I'll put it in the comments after if you don't know where it's at. But that run that he had is a 14-yard run, and they made a nice little hole early. But for him to score a touchdown on that run, like there was something like less than 10% probability that you score there, and he busts through 2 guys to get to the end zone. He has a different it factor, and there's something that's special about him that just Darrell Henderson and a lot of these other guys don't have. So I think once you see him continue to get more snap shares and touches, you'll see that special Cam come through.
I know some of the concern was like, oh, he looks slow after week 1, the Achilles, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know how people came to that conclusion when every time he was taking a handoff, he was getting hit in the backfield. Like that offensive line was horrible. Like you didn't get the chance to see if he can run worth a shit or not. And I think lately you've been able to see that he looks just fine. Now maybe he's not 90-yard house call Cam Akers like he was at Florida State anymore, but I think he'll be just fine at him. He looks plenty explosive to me. Same for J-Rob, baby, right? Another Achilles injury. We wrote him off like dummies. J-Rob looks
Yes,
just fine.
yes. He
he
looks better than
looks
just. He
just
looks
fine.
like he never left, man. He looks like nothing. He didn't miss a beat, man.
Man, he got one of them bionic Achilles. Like that's probably a robot Achilles. Makes him actually run faster, jump higher.
I mean,
Kind
it
of
is
that too.
crazy. Like, and I think like people gave Akers a lot of discredit because of the yards per carry and stuff. Like that next week they're playing Frisco, right? Like it wouldn't surprise me if the O line creates nothing. Like K Adams was just doing a fucking interview with Andrew Whitworth after that week, right? Like they lost their best offensive weapon as far as the O line goes, and that O line's bad, man. Like it's bad. So it wouldn't surprise me if there's not a lot of room created versus Frisco, but there's a lot of games where like you're gonna see Akers really take a step forward, I think. And yeah, man, Cam Akers, sip boy. I'm sipping on Sazerac Rye. I showed it to you. What else we got in here, man? Anything?
Man, Alex is in the path of the Hurricanes.
Yes. Jay is with me, man. Many men. Many men.
They wish death upon him.
Yeah, man. And he's back.
He's back.
Here we go. I got some other ones to get to, but I see that there's a first-time caller, which isn't. Blitz, we love you. Hey, guys, first-time caller, long-time listener. On the topic of bionic Achilles, would you rather have bionic arms or bionic legs? No mix and match. I'll take my question off air.
What the fuck?
God damn it.
Oh, man.
Goddamn Blitz, man. Love what I'm seeing.
Man, I'd take bionic legs. Not gonna lie.
It's not listed, but I'll take the bionic Achilles.
Bionic Achilles. I'm taking the bionic legs, man. There's some days that on your feet all day. You've been doing a lot of walking. I want the bionic legs. Right? Just grease them up. You'll be fine.
I think the legs probably for me too. Reporting live from the direct path of this hurricane.
Stay safe, Alex.
Yeah, stay safe. Yeah, man, it's not looking good down there. Yeah, stay safe. They're already out of Tampa. That game, I think, is looking like it's not going to be played in Tampa. So if you're down that way, stay safe. All of our Florida guys.
Yeah, my grandparents are down there too, as well as my father. So thinking about them too, but you as well, Alex. Everybody that's in that path of the hurricane. Hope you guys are doing well.
All right,
make it through this thing. Okay.
T-Rock, of course, has to hit us with a two-parter. So because he started the show off with such a fire little intro, we'll make sure we give him the two-parter here. So, yo, I need help with start-sit because the Sunday AMAs are so damn popular that my questions get missed. Sorry about that. Here, we'll get to it, though. This is bash settings. Start 2 running backs, 2 flex. Kamara, ETN, Madison, Dortch, Zay, Gage. I refuse to start Mooney or Tony. Michael?
Yeah, there's no way you can start Mooney or Tony until you actually see some. Kamara, I can. If Kamara's playing, I can never bench him. Right? We know what Alvin Kamara can do, so he's like a must start. Oh man, 2 running backs. I think my second one's going to be Madison if Dalvin's not playing. Like you've always seen Madison smash when Dalvin's out. I think that's where I'm going to go. 2 flex.
So you gotta have 4 of these. Is it 5 guys?
Yeah, and 2 of them need to be running backs.
4 of 6. 4 of 6.
Yep. So Kamara, Madison for me. Madison only if Dalvin Cook is out. But that's where I'm going to go. I'm pretty sure he's going to miss at least 1 week. I would think so, but maybe I could be wrong. Kamara, Madison. Then I'm going to go ETN and Zay Jones as my 2 flex.
So I would say this. Running back side, it's going to be Kamara and Madison if Cook misses time. If not, it's easily Kamara and ETN. Then when you get to the flexes, I would say this too, right? So if Cook is out, it's Kamara, Madison, ETN, and Zay Jones. If Cook is playing, it's Kamara, ETN, and then I'm going to play Zay Jones. You know what? I'm going to stay with Dortch. I would say here's what I would need for Gage to play for me is I need to see because Evans is back this week.
Yes.
What I need to see is that Julio and Godwin for sure are out. Like it, even then, like I think Gage might come down a little bit as far as his ceiling. But if all those other things stay the same and it's Evans and Gage, like I could understand it. For me, I would go Dortch though.
I just rank the wide receivers like how I'd play them. It'd be Zay, Dortch, Gage. Running
Boom.
backs. If Cook's out, is Kamara, Madison, ETN. If Cook's playing, obviously Madison's not in consideration for me. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at.
I'm
That's
with
where
you.
I'm at with that. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I'll take Dortch over Gage with Mike Evans back and the possibility of maybe Julio or Chris Godwin or both being back in the lineup.
T-Rock also says Mikey had to evacuate.
Oh, man.
Stay safe, Mikey, man.
Yeah.
Theo, if you're down there, I hope you're staying safe too. Theo is asking me questions about his team that he's tilting on because he's 0-3, but it's really good. And I haven't heard from him today, so actually I should check and see, make sure everything's all good.
Check up on those guys.
Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Those are dudes.
None of your business. Welcome to the Shit Show and the South Harmon AMA. He
Hell
joined
yeah.
the Patreon recently. So
Saw that.
with Swift's latest injury, is now the time to move him, and for what price? So two things. One,
No to the first part.
right. So this is the
Worst
time.
time
This
to
is the time to buy him. Probably. Like if you're going to buy Swift, now is the time to buy him. I do understand that it's concerning. I mean, Dynasty Alex, I know you're in the building somewhere, or you tend to be. Yeah, he is, right? Reporting from the
Yep.
hurricane.
Yep.
So
Alex is here.
remember, he was pushing. He was pushing, and I like the push. I like the nudge because you know how much I love Swift, but I had to tell him every time. The main thing holding me back from having him in the JT discussion is health. We saw after week 1 the ankle injury. We saw now the shoulder pop back up. I still think the talent is unreal, but with an old school coach, like he's got to practice and he's got to stay healthy. So the way it's set up, Mike, they have 2 weeks and then a bye. It's very likely, in my opinion, that he sits these next 2 weeks, takes the bye week. He'll only miss 2 games and he'll be back. You know, you would think with that amount of time he'll be better. He'll be pretty good with coming off that shoulder. So now's the time to buy. Like what you don't want to do, none of your business, in my opinion, is sell Swift light now. Like that just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, most people are going to knock him because he's injured. Adam, I don't know if anybody else has said it, and this is, I've been busy as shit lately, so my content consumption hasn't been at the peak it should be. But with DeAndre Swift, I was thinking about it. Doesn't he kind of give off a lot of Dalvin Cook vibes? Right, the big play threat, fantastic when he's on the field, can catch the football, can do it all, but there's always that fucking injury concern with Dalvin Cook, and even in games, like Dalvin Cook will be smashing, and then just boom, like you get the sleeper notification, right? Dalvin Cook in the medical tent. Dalvin Cook came up gimpy after that one. I love DeAndre Swift to death, but I get so many Dalvin Cook vibes with him in it. And if you have Dalvin Cook on your dynasty teams or you've had him in the past, prime Dalvin Cook, you know how fucking frustrating it is week in and week out. I'm starting to get to that spot with Swift, man. I still love him, and I'll still buy him if people want to give me a discount at him because I still believe in the guy. And hopefully this all just kind of goes past him and we don't have to worry about these injuries all the time. But it's starting to worry me a little bit, man, because he seems just to get banged up all the time. It's man, get on the TB12 method. Fuck.
So
start eating avocado ice cream. Damn
I'm with Dynasty Alex. Go buy Swift and collect coin at the end of your season. A couple things to touch on. Let me answer this question from Jay real quick. Would you do Najee for Swift straight up? I'm assuming you're going to get Najee for your DeAndre Swift. Or is it vice versa? Well, vice versa, I guess. Let's talk about it, Mike.
Man, I would say it would depend on the rest of my team. There's going to be some contenders, Adam, where I'm not the super strongest one, right? You know what I mean? Like I have a good team, but it's not far and away the best team in the league.
Yeah, the early startups, in the last year or two, you probably haven't had enough time to go like stupid goon squad yet, you know?
With the way the last couple of years have gone with like injuries and we've had to deal with COVID, that first round bye becomes so fucking important. We're almost at the spot right now where if I know, I got a good feeling Swift's probably going to be out till week 7. So I'm talking the next handful of weeks. I need wins. I might do that straight up. I might send my Swift for Najee.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. So
if I honestly though, if I've got a good enough team, I might send my Najee for Swift. You know what I mean? Like if I can stomach, I can I don't need him for the next couple weeks, or my team is so damn good, I'm not really worried about it. I'm going to go on a run either way. I'm probably going to split these games, that kind of thing. I might send my Najee for Swift, to
All
be
right,
honest. I'd rather have Swift than Najee right now.
all
But
right. So go ahead. Sorry. I wanted to let you finish before I go.
no, I'm just saying, like, but there are certain, like, contenders that I have where, like, I need the fucking points. I need to make sure I get every
Sure.
win possible because I need that first round bye. Like, I don't want to risk it getting knocked out in round one. Like, I want the money. Give me the goddamn money.
So let me say this. If your contending team is still borderline elite, you're a strong contender, but you don't have the depth at running back and you want to make that pivot, I'm fine with it. I would say this, though. This is the way he said this, like, it made me remember to say the point that I wanted to make with him. So with DeAndre Swift, right? What happened last year, Mike? Let's walk through it because last year the season started off, right? Jamal Williams we were told by everybody that had supposed inside track and sources that Jamal Williams is the running back and that DeAndre Swift's going to play the number 2 role in game 1 because he had the groin injury in the preseason. Mike, that wasn't even the case week 1. And then DeAndre Swift was really damn good, like easily top 5 running back until what? The Pittsburgh game when Dan Campbell is in the snow. Well, before Thanksgiving, right? So they're playing Pittsburgh in the snow, and it's at Heinz Field, and it's like blizzard-like conditions, and you're just not going to trust Jared Goff the way he was playing to throw the ball around like that. And I think it was a game Jamal Williams missed because of injury. So it's like the reverse, right? And DeAndre Swift got 30 carries. Like, understand this man is a savvy ass running back. He's super elusive. He is a lot of the things you want, but he is not built for 30 carries in a game. And the injury, his shoulder, at that point, it popped up on the injury report, but he was able to play through it. And then it was, I think, 1 week. There was a week in between the Pittsburgh game and the Thanksgiving game. And then a Thanksgiving game, because it's on a Thursday and on a short week, right? He gets tackled on the sideline. He goes down straight on top of it, hurts it way worse than it was. And we saw the rest of his season was over. And the reason I want to bring that to the forefront here and talk about this is because now, Mike, I think we might be looking at what's crazy is the opposite. So to your point, like if I need points now in order to stay in contention to try to earn a bye, I'd go ahead and do that. But with Najee Harris, here's the problem. Unless Mike Tomlin decides to go to Pickett, and even then we don't know what the ceiling is, that offense just isn't good enough for him to be an elite contender winner. Now, he'll still be in that, high RB2, low RB1 mix because he's still Najee Harris, but he's got the foot injury. Doesn't quite look right, and that offense isn't great. So he's still good, and I'm not worried about him, like, per se. But I think here's the thing. So Jamal Williams is going to take a lot of touches, right? They're going to play Reynolds, I believe is his name, number 46, right? And
Craig Reynolds.
Yep. So because they have Josh Reynolds, the receiver, too. But what's going to happen, I think, Mike, is if he gets healthy, and it's the inverse of last year. Like if you get DeAndre Swift and what he was at the first part of the year towards the back half, where Jamal Williams takes a lot of these touches, we've seen him get hurt too, and he's old. Like if you give him a lion's share of the work, I don't know how healthy he stays. And if DeAndre Swift can actually get healthy and play at the back half of the season at an elite level, because here's the thing you need to think about too. How good did Jamal Williams look in that offense, Mike? This offensive line for the first time is fucking healthy. Like, think about that because he looked great. So if DeAndre Swift can get healthy down the stretch with that O-line, you could be looking at a league winner late. Now, I understand right now this probably sounds crazy. Oh, this is the Akers guy. Get him off my screen. He's an idiot. I understand. It's not the exciting thing to talk about right now. A lot of people want to move Swift. They're over the injuries. The upside at the end of the year, I do believe, is league winning because of how that offensive line is. And if he gets touches like he did week 1, scary, man. Scary.
I do get it. The Najee one's kind of interesting too. I think right now with the way Najee Harris is in that Pittsburgh offense, like you're kind of looking at, we thought Najee Harris was locked and loaded top 5 running back this year. No questions asked. And he was drafted that. I think it's more like Josh Jacobs from last year, where it's like that high end RB2 just because of volume and touches. But not as good as what we once predicted, right? Not as good as what until Kenny Pickett takes over and we see what Kenny Pickett actually is, which I think is 10 times better than whatever the hell Mitchell Trubisky is. I think that's kind of where you have to value him at, right?
It'd be surprising to see it be worse.
For sure. All right, Patty's got one here. Would you send CMC, Algier, Trey McBride a 23 second for London, James Conner, and a 23 first? 12 team, half PPR, start 9, looking to contend, but CMC is my RB anchor. No, I'm not doing this. I'm going to hold on to CMC.
I would need to know what your running back room looks like to do this, because I understand that CMC, like if he's going to get utilized this way, doesn't offer the old CMC ceiling. I don't know if Matt Rule, to save his job eventually, is going to be like, no, we need to play him more. So I still think like CMC could have better days ahead, but if he's in this role where they're not utilizing him a lot, it's not crazy high upside, but still I want him over James Conner. So I would need to know, Patty, like what the rest of your running back room looks like to make this move, because like I get it from the London 23 first and Conner value perspective, but because you're saying contending, like I just need to know that the running backs are still like. Do you honestly have the running back horses to support this trade? Is I guess my question.
He said Akers, Walker, Sanders, and some guys.
Nah, I love Akers, but he's an RB2 still.
Can we admit that James Conner ain't it? Right? Can we put that
he's not it for me. He's not it for me, man. Not it for me.
He shouldn't be it for anybody, right?
Nah.
Come on, man.
Patty, I would stay put unless you know that you can make a move with, like, say that first and Conner to go up tier to a different running back. Because, like, otherwise, like, I'd just rather have the CMC side.
Good news for CMC. Sam Darnold's on his way.
Mike, you know what? You know what's crazy? I don't know.
That's an upgrade. That sucks.
Like, I'll be honest. I watched the back half of that season, and Sam Darnold was, I still think, worse than Baker is today. But I'll tell you this right now: doesn't matter. The quarterback play from Baker and Darnold at the end of the year is just like DJ Moore shares look terrible, man. Like, I feel so bad for this guy. So talented, and every time we think he gets a quarterback upgrade, it just isn't, and it's actually a downgrade. It's just so it's so unfortunate.
We saw CMC and DJ Moore look fantastic at this point last year with Sam Darnold. We have yet to see it with Baker Mayfield. That's all I'm saying.
You're not wrong. Let's fire through a couple of these. I'm behind because I went on a soapbox on DeAndre Swift. Is Pittman worth a 23 and 24 late first?
Maybe, but probably not.
I'll tell you this much, Benjamin. If your team is absolutely ready to go, and he's the piece you need to get there, I would do it. But I'll tell you this: I just don't ever. Like, I really, you know what, Mike? There's one time did I do this, and it was for Devontae Adams last year, and it was in the Patreon League 1 14 team. And at the time, I'm thinking, you know what? These are late first. And so that's really like the 202 and 12 team, right? Like, I win. There's a 202. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
You mean 14 team. Yeah.
Sorry, 14 team. I mean, it's a 202 and a 12 team league. Like, it's 114.
Okay. I got you.
But it's 202 and a 12 team. No, you're good.
The vodka's delicious. That's all.
Believe me, I'm with you. We got Sazerac on. But the point was, I'm thinking I'm trading 2 seconds and a piece for Devontae Adams. Like, yeah, let's go. Sign me up. And then guess what?
I got this.
Injuries happen. Bye weeks happen. You miss the play. So I just don't ever. I am not a guy to ever go 2 first for a wide receiver on a contender. Like, it just. I personally don't want that type of consolidation and risk.
Unless, for me, like, there's only a handful of them, right? Unless your name's Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. As much as I like to bash him at him, I'd be willing to pay what I believe at the time is too late first.
Of course.
Because
that's a dynasty value win, though, right?
Yeah,
like,
but even if I fuck up, you know what I mean? Like, those two guys I know will command. Yes, those two guys will command a haul later on. So those two, I would put a caveat. But Michael Pittman, no. Patty, I get it. I get it, though. Like, if it was a league where this is like the final piece that you need. Adam, what would you say, though? Like, think about some of the – I'd rather do other moves, be honest. But
Right. That's my point. Is like I think you can do different things with the first to get a player that's different than him. You know what I mean?
I was going to try to rationalize it.
Here's
like
my
if I
thing.
had
Like, let me give you a perfect
crazy best ball contender or something like that, and I
let me give you like
no.
the better
No, I
play
can't
in my
do that.
opinion, even if you have that team, is like go get Christian Kirk. Go get somebody that's not going to cost you Pittman. Like I can find points that are close to Pittman at a much lower cost. I just don't think you need to do that, even if your team's studded.
Shit, you can find two pieces, right? Everybody hates Cam Akers. Everybody hates fucking Antonio Gibson, right? You got those two late first.
That's my
They'll
point.
They'll buy you a Christian Kirk and a running back, right? And you get the depth.
Because here's the thing, right? When you make that move, you're so rigid. Like Michael Pittman has to be what you expect Michael Pittman's top ceiling to be, and there can't be injuries and all that shit to your team. Like for your picks to stay where they're at. So it's just it's a gamble I don't like to make. We got the Gambler. I don't know if he's in the house, but we got a new patron, the Gambler. It's just a gambler I don't want to make. Guys, I'm needy tonight. I need help with the team I just posted in Big Meat. Sorry, T-Rock. I know you're needy, and we got you. Do I trade for a piece to help right the ship, or do I wait until week 6? And if I'm not top 3 in scoring, then go rebuild. Like I need a lot more context. He said he's number 6 in scoring.
Yeah, I got the team pulled up. He posted in the Discord.
All right, go ahead, Mike.
He's a
do
Savage.
this.
So he's rocking for those.
He earns he earns it.
Lamar, Uncle Lenny, ETN, Adams, Deontay, Gerald Everett, Bateman, Allen Robinson, Cortland Sutton, and Russ are his starters. And his bench is fucking atrocious. Brandon Ayuk. That's the bench.
I like that. I like Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I'm not even going to acknowledge Naheem Hines or some of these other running backs. So the first thing, like his running back depth is horrible, right? ETN has not been great.
He's not ETN what you thought, right?
No, right. He has no third running back, none, at all. He's got some pieces on the bench. Like maybe I try to sell or try to find a running back dart, right? Like Noah Brown, his time's about to be up at some point, and you know the clock is about to run out on a guy like Richie James. So maybe you try to move those guys while they're still hot. But
I mean, yeah, is it though? Like he's getting peppered with targets. I don't even
listen.
know. That offense is so weird, so weird.
His starting roster is great.
Sure,
his starting roster is great, albeit underperformed. Okay. Lamar's been doing Lamar things. Lamar's fucking amazing. But Devontae's had bad weeks.
Well,
right?
he's got Lamar doing great things, but he's got Russ taking it down.
Russ taking it down. He's got Allen Robinson doing fuck all. Bateman, he can't do it every week.
Mike, not just that. Bateman scared the living shit out of me last week, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but he did.
Ayuk now with Jimmy. Ugh, damn it. Why? What would you do with this team, Adam?
I'm concerned about depth unless you're going to make a lot of moves, T-Rock. Like, bye weeks are coming. Bye weeks are coming.
The depth's atrocious. Man, I think I'm selling this team off, to be honest.
I'm with Mike.
And I'm waiting until like guys pop. Lamar, you don't have to sell him, but I'm waiting for like Russ to do something and then being like, see, he's fucking back. Now get off my team. Lenny, gone. Devontae Adams, same kind of thing. Hey, look, Devontae's still Devontae. Peace. Get the fuck off my team. Bateman, you can hold on to. Allen Robinson, you're just praying he does something. Cortland Sutton, you can move along with Russ if you want to package it together. I'm selling this thing off.
Yeah, I'm selling the pieces that need to go.
I would be more patient. I honestly, T-Rock, I'd be 100% more patient if I looked at my bench and was like, dude, I got good players on my bench, or I got promising players. The team as a whole has just not been good. My starters haven't been firing. Like, I would do that, but I look at that lack of depth on your bench, and I'm like, if that was me, I'd be like, I'm fucking petrified, because if something happens to, Leonard Fournette, now I'm looking at Travis Etienne, RB1. No thanks.
Well, here's the thing. Like, when you read the roster, and I go back to the initial question, I think the question actually is answered for me. Is you wait until week 6 unless – because here's the problem, Mike. I'm with you, but all the pieces that he's trying to move are moving at the wrong time, other than maybe Sutton. Like, nobody that he's going to move on that team that I want to move is the timely time to get rid of him. Like,
He can move Lamar right now and get a massive fucking haul.
If you can actually get top 3-5 quarterback Lamar trade value back, go ahead. Outside of that, though, you're not getting what you should back for any of these guys. So I'm actually going to wait. I'm going to wait, do what you're doing until week 6. If somehow all these guys turn it around and it's like, oh shit, I'm contending, I'd be very careful though because you don't have the depth. So ultimately, I would probably in that scenario still sell off when they pop.
One thing I'm not doing, to answer your question more pertinently, is putting any more future assets in.
Do not do that. Please
or
don't do
selling
that.
off any youth players right now. No.
Mike, yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Don't push in further. Wait, be patient, and if there's a sell window and that's the best thing to do, do it. If things look very different at the end of week 6 and you actually think you're ready to go with some savvy moves, we could talk about it, but right now, patience. In a Devy league, would you send 2 first, 2 seconds, Boyd, Montgomery, for Hill, Tyreek Hill, Swift, and Michael Carter?
I think I'd have to know how depleted the Devy league is, but my initial impression is fuck yes. Yes.
I'm thinking, like, the way I look at this, Mike, so I'm thinking, right, like the 223 first and Montgomery, I'll take Hill and Swift.
Easily.
Yes. So then you're talking about Boyd in the seconds for Carter is obviously way too much. But the difference I think here, Mike, is the 223 seconds that are Devy depleted and Boyd going to keep you from going to two star-studded guys, in my opinion. For me, I'd rather have those guys, I think.
Unless this is like a really shallow Devy league.
Unless they're not that depleted or it's like deep best ball or something, which I don't think it's going to be. I would do it, yes.
Yeah, I'd definitely do that, I think.
Let me try to rapid fire to get through. I don't want to rapid fire too much. I just want to get caught up on the questions here. We got a lot going on. Okay.
It's because we have some of the best fucking viewers there is.
We got
the diehards in here.
We got the best people in the building. You know, John Smith, 12-team full PPR Superflex tight end premium start 10 lineup. Give Devin Duvernay. Okay, so give nothing. A 23 mid-second. Get Zach Ertz. Oh, yes. Jeez. Stop.
Yep.
I'm going to take this off. There's no analysis. Abso-fucking-lutely.
100%, John.
Mike greased me for far worse for Zach Ertz. And I'm not mad about it, but he did. CMC is still amazing. Just bad usage, unfortunately. Could be worse. It could be, yeah. T-Rock, you're right on all that.
R.I.P. DJ Moore. I feel
Mike,
so bad for you,
remember when we traded CMC and Kamara to each other in the auction? We both got fucked. At least I got Hollywood, though.
I stuck you with Hollywood. Congratulations.
Hey, you know what? Nice job, T-Rock. You got Hollywood, man. Great fucking job. We're proud of you.
So happy.
I blame the Browns for DJ Moore's situation. T-Rock, don't. Why you got to bring the Browns into this? We've been over here trying to ride out Jacoby Brissett, bystanders, innocent, and it's uncalled for.
How about T-Rac's team in the shit auction, the one we gave him so much stuff for? Is he undefeated right now?
What is going on, Mike? I'm going to questions because Javonte Williams is on the block. What is the shit price on him? Okay, couple things. Well, on the block, fine. Oh, you mean he's on the block and you're trying to trade for him? Is that?
I would hope so.
I was going to say, because I'm not. I was reading this the other way. Like, he put him on the block, and what do you need in return?
If you would put Javonte Williams on the block, don't do that. Take him off the block. This is also
that's what I was going to say.
I don't like selling at discounts.
It's the same thing with Swift. Yeah. Don't sell Swift right now.
Yeah. If I'm going to trade for Javonte Williams, somebody put him on the block. What are you giving up, Adam? I think I'm going to start with a first and 2 seconds, and I was going to start. That'd be too generous to some people. Like,
I think
might get accepted.
Well, that would get. I think a lot of people would panic off of Javonte for that, and maybe even lower. I think what you start with, honestly, if he's on the block, is you go with a first and a nice plus, or a first and a second. Probably like whatever you need to do, like a second type player. Right? Maybe even give him back a Pollard or something stupid.
Can I give you a first in Khalil Herbert if I got him?
First, a second in Khalil Herbert I would do.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, something like that first and a plus start with. And then, Mike, I probably still would go up to 2 first, but I don't think it's necessary.
That's my ceiling, but that's where I'm at too.
Correct.
I'd go that high, but I don't think I'm going to. We definitely ain't fucking starting there. I know that much.
Oh.
Dynasty Alex, man. You have to let us know if you get that done and what it was for.
Okay. Here we go. Like, if you want me to get back to it, I mean, I'll happily do that. I could talk for an hour on Cam Akers. You did miss the talk. Y'all think he continues to get an increased workload and we begin to see the usage expected at the beginning of the year. So I did hit on this, but to answer your question since it was asked, and, just not rocking the Akers jersey, not biased or anything, I'll just answer the question because you asked me. I think that what we've already seen, right, the first 3 weeks, he went from not playing at all to getting more touches on less snaps to the last week getting equal snaps and way more touches. So I think what you're going to see, in my opinion, is he's going to be what I predicted the floor was, right? So when I talked about Akers in the offseason, let me just tell you what I was seeing in the 2 scenarios. There was, in my opinion, the floor, which is really like a Joe Mixon type thing of last year, not the current Joe Mixon 12 carries for 24 yards, where the offense is still pretty good. He's going to have a ton of scoring opportunities, but he's not going to play third down role, right? Because they don't trust him in pass pro.
Yeah.
I think that is probably what we're going to see, where Akers is the first and second down running back. He's going to get all the valuable, runs and goal line work, but the passing upside, like the catching upside and third down work, is not probably going to be his role. I honestly believe that's what it's going to be. Is there a scenario where he is playing so well and so good that they give him some pass pro work down the stretch and he has the crazy upside? I think that's still out there, but I can't truly, I can't in good conscience and good faith project that for you.
I think we're seeing it already, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like in the last couple of weeks, we're
the whole
starting to see
second
that
half
increase.
last week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Like we're starting to see it right now. So I don't know. Henderson's always going to have a role. How much? I mean, is it going to be 5 touches every week? If it's only 5 touches, fuck, sign me up.
I think what we saw last week, Mike. I think what we saw last week is very real. 4 touches. He's going to give Akers a few blows, and he's primarily just going to come in on third down for pass protection. And, Mike, you know what's funny? Can I tell you why the pass pro thing and the third down is a big deal and why I think what happened week 1 happened? So, and also I think this is why, I do believe the outcome of crazy ceiling still exists for him. McVay can say whatever he wants about both backs and all that. McVay is very much in on one guy, and I think it's for a very big reason. He does not want to be predictable, right? Like when you put Nyheim Hines in, you as a defense, you're going to say, I know that they don't want to run with this guy. Now, they might do it. Because the defense is showing they're thinking pass, and we're going to try to sneak a run in, right? But you're showing your hand.
Corollary.
Yes, you're showing your hand, though. That's what happens when you put Nyheim Hines in.
That's what happens when you put Boston Scott in a
Boston
goal line
Scott,
situation.
Right. Jeez, come on, man.
What the fuck are you doing?
When what he really wants, though, Mike, is to have one guy that is not a tip your cap type of a running back. And I think that's a big thing for him. Now, I think why he didn't play like Akers at all is because even in first and second downs, even though you don't he's not the third down pass pro guy, you still might run. You still aren't going to run all those. You still might pass. And if he did what he did versus that big ass tackle and Matthew Stafford's getting crushed by a 300-pound guy, that has to get shored up a little bit. So that's my personal opinion. Go ahead.
Here's a fun stat for you, though. Right, we know week 1 was god-awful.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't play.
Cam Akers is still 18th in the league in red zone touches. 18th in the league. Didn't do fuck all in week 1.
In 2 games.
Yeah.
Versus everyone else's 3, right?
Pretty good. It's not too bad. I like it. I think it increases. All right, next question. Fuck, I don't want you to do Cam Akers all night, damn it.
Well, I'll happily do it. Y'all can keep asking him. I'll answer him.
Ooh. Tight end one for a contender, especially with tight end premium. I got Fant likely Tunyon. I'm rebuilding, but got concerns I'll be hurt in a tight end by the time I'm contending. I wouldn't worry about that now, Joker. At all.
Don't. All right, we talked about this. We might need to revisit this, Mike, on 4D and rebuild.
Yeah. No, I'm not
Don't-
worried about it at all.
You will on rebuilding. All you're going to do is collect assets. Like if you have a zero, like if you didn't even have Fant or likely or Tanyan, I would tell you not worry. You can find a way to buy, gosh, a Schultz right now who's hurt and Dak's not playing. Like you'll always be able to find a way to buy a tight end later. You are going to also draft some upside guys. You'll land a Freiermuth. You'll land Trey McBride, who eventually will pop. Like you, don't worry about it today. Do not try to fill your lineup today ever on a rebuilder. Don't do it.
I got it right here for you, man. Top tight ends this year. Okay? Andrews, Kelsey. No one fucking questions it. Tyler fucking Conklin. Third tight end. Tight end 3 on the year. What did he cost you, Adam? Fuck all.
He was
Ertz.
a grease piece.
We both liked Ertz coming into it, right? He's tight end 4.
Yep.
He cost you at most mid to late second.
I could show you where he cost me more.
Waller, Goddard. Okay, we expect him to be high. Tyler Higbee. Didn't cost you much. Gerald Everett. Basically fucking free.
Is it? Are my eyes deceiving me, Mike?
he's
Gabriel
here.
Garcia.
David Njoku, Pat Freiermuth, Will Disley. Will fucking Disley.
Will
Speaking of
Disley.
Noah
Will
Fant.
Disley is everything I told you Noah Fant was going to be, and I'm sorry I could not have predicted it. I apologize for.
We just had the wrong number.
It wasn't a lack of assessment. It was just a lack of understanding Pete Carroll.
Point being, like on an actual contender, yes, having a locked and loaded Kelsey or Mark Andrews is an advantage and one that I'd like to have, but I'm not selling my soul to the devil to get it. You're in a rebuild as well. Don't fucking worry about it this year. Don't worry about it at all. You can go get one. You can make a billion trades if you want, but you can also, like I just listed off, find a serviceable tight end for absolutely fucking nothing. So,
Gabe, I know you didn't come in here because I'm not texting you back because I'm on AMA, and you were trying to get me to do something that I shouldn't do. and you know, I love that he knows how, like, he knows how I think, and he still wants to give me the like massive up tier deals. And I'm about up tier, but not like greasing me. I love you, Gabe, but I'm gonna guess. I'll take a peek. I'll take a peek after the show. I promise you.
Take a peek. It's probably ain't good though.
It's our last one wasn't terrible, but we were
All right.
in a place of almost just walking away from the table. T-Law seems to be ascending. None of your business. T-Law is ascending. Let me correct the start of that. With his recent play in draft capital, would you trade? Okay. Speaking of Gabriel, who we just talked about, I unfortunately had the misfortune of taking Dak Prescott and DJ Moore for I sent away T-Law and Devontae Smith, and I would undo that trade today. Mike, I think where are you at? I would take T-Law for Dak if I needed production today, and probably in the future.
T-Law over Dak for me. They were close heading into the season.
Yeah.
And people gave me shit about it. You know, I had to do that Sunshine video about T-Law. But the talent didn't go nowhere, folks.
Mike,
Urban Meyer happened.
Mike, can I tell you what we both did? You were there earlier than I was, though. We both put T-Law as the consensus one of the 21 quarterbacks.
Yes.
And we were both, I think, right on that.
Yes. I think you and I had a nice disagreement early on, months and months ago, about the quarterbacks, right? With the way I had ranked them, it was we didn't get to see the Lance thing, so I give you a pass. But Lance had been your guy for the longest time, and I had said that it might be verbatim, but something to the effect of I put a little more stock in the guys who went through the struggle last year and got a lot of playing time, even though that they looked bad. Because it got a lot of the shit out, and that was my one concern with Lance coming in. Now, granted, we never got to see it because of the fucking unfortunate injury, but T-Law had been at the top for me for a long fucking time, like a long time.
Listen, that wasn't actually the reason I came around on it, because I also think there's something that's very important about sitting, and like why if Kenny Pickett does sit, I don't mind that for him. Like Patrick Mahomes got to sit. Not telling you Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to be great, but He did. I think he was able to do well by sitting, and I think Trey Lance had that, but we never got to see it. For me, T-Law is this. He may not have the sexy rushing upside of Trey Lance, but he can still run. He's not someone that's immobile. And Trevor Lawrence is in the same breath of Andrew Luck as far as passing prospect. And we've seen guys have bad years that are great prospects. I mean, you're going back a ways, but Peyton Manning had a horrible year. A lot of these great quarterbacks had horrible year ones. And then knowing what Urban Meyer was, the safeness of Trevor Lawrence for me personally was enough to put him over Trey Lance, even though Trey Lance I still believed offered higher upside. For me, I left Fields at the bottom, and Mike, that's a scary one. But I'll say this. I think this one is still very close. But I think it's probably not consensus to lean T-Law. However, I would say I probably lean T-Law right now because of the youth. I do still think there's a very real scenario when Dak's healthy, he'll outscore Trevor Lawrence. But like Trevor Lawrence in the dynasty space, man, has to be one of the biggest movers, period.
I have T-Law over Dak. It's not by a lot,
right,
but I do have it. And
I have him by a hair too, yep.
What I will say is I don't know if that's the consensus in the dynasty community. So if I can trade Dak for Trevor Lawrence and get anything on top, like that's what I'm trying to do. Like, give me a third. Give me a fourth. Give me $50 in fab, you fuck. Like anything. But yes, straight up I would do it. But I think there's still that little bit out there where you can maybe ask for more because Dak does carry the name value a little bit higher than Trevor Lawrence at this point.
Agreed. You know what's funny, Jay? Going into the season before Akers tore his Achilles, which was the 2021 offseason, Akers was believed to be a better runner but not as good of a pass catcher and was on a much better team. So like that at that point, Swift was the guy that was the buy and was faded by most people in my mind. And I was very in on Akers because of him showing all that upside and being on a great team. Like, I don't think he's a poor man's Swift. I think he's a better runner. I think he's a very capable pass catcher and is just someone you want to get the ball to. But I think in order for him to be a pass catcher, like, he's never going to be as good of a pass catcher as Swift. But I think for him to be a good one, he needs to start being better in pass pro. And he's not a poor man's Swift. I think he's just I don't even know what to say. I want Swift in a vacuum, but I think the offense is better with LA.
I just think back that I don't think that's something that's talked about enough is the way those two are valued heading into 2021, right? We all know what happened with the Achilles and everything after, and that's kind of what we think. But there was a point where people were dunking all over DeAndre Swift because of Jamal Williams, right?
And because of the offense. The Lions were bad, Jared Goff, everything.
They're horrible. Man, I had to pull it up just to see. But ADP-wise, Jesus, yeah.
Well, Akers was like 202, 201, 112. And Swift was more like, you know what's funny? I saw him always go in the second, but ADP told me like early third in Player Profiler. So
that's wild.
Yeah.
No way. But yeah, it's kind of weird to see how that's been flipped, right? And then DeAndre Swift, consensus RB2 for most people. Cam Akers almost dead.
Cam Akers does not have let me just say this. Cam Akers does not have an Achilles issue, and he does not have a talent issue. Yeah, he doesn't. That is why I will always be in on Cam Akers.
Yep. Swift, Akers, J.K. Dobbins, they were kind of all like the next group coming, right? And Akers was pretty much the only one we hadn't seen anything in regular season production from. We got a couple playoff games and maybe like one regular season game.
You know what, Mike?
And that was it.
He really blew up at the very it was the first week of the fantasy playoffs. I think it was versus the Jets. And then he hurt the people forget. People forget this, Mike. He had a high ankle sprain. Now, this is something that's funny as hell that people forget this. Talking about Swift injuries. Akers had a high ankle sprain, missed a week. And everything you saw in week 17, because that was the last regular season game, but the playoffs and fantasy were over, and in the NFL playoffs, was off of him having a high ankle sprain.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy, ain't it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to close that. T-Rock says, Adam, Senate just put Herbert on the trade block, and I know this is Khalil. Is it? It's not Justin. I need clarification. Justin or Khalil? I have 423 first and 424 first. Save me.
It has to be.
It's got to. Okay, the question's phrase is Justin.
Come on, man.
Khalil Herbert is just the talk of the town, so I'm just so ready to fight the Khalil Herbert stuff. Zach, are you in here? I'm sorry about the mishap last week. He is in here. I have a question I need to get to of his. Dude,
No.
Don't do it. You already have. Man, if this is the league we're in together, you already have Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson. What are you doing?
No.
Stop, T-Rock.
No. If it costs 2 seconds first.
Hey, Mike, what's the Michael Jordan? Stop it. Get some help.
If it costs 2 first, cool. If it costs 3, no, man, just keep it.
You already have Wilson and Mahomes, and you're in a rebuild. Stop. Zach. Sorry about the Khalil Herbert mix-up last week. Although you started him in a league still, so I'm not entirely confused on what I apologize for. Said fuck it and sold Rondale Moore in a late third and a 14-team lineup for Jamal Williams. You're a Swift owner. I don't mind it for that price. I mean,
the Swift owner thing has nothing to. I don't like to handcuff,
right.
But I'm just looking at what I can get for production on a contender. I don't Rondale Moore in a late third. Fuck it, man. What is Rondale Moore at this point? Like,
you didn't give up anything, right? Like in line, he said 14-team lineup. So running backs are going to be hard as hell to find.
Yes.
A third rounder in 14-team, if it's late, you're talking a 4th-round pick. And Rondale, like, I will toss Rondale to the wolves if I need production, period. So 100%. I like what you did.
He's nothing more than a dart for me, but an expendable one.
I have no more, like, I'm not holding out any more hope for Rondale Moore. I basically am assuming I can't move him for anything, and if he pops, great. That's where I'm at with him.
Yeah. I like it. Great move, Zach. Sorry about Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, we do apologize because, I mean, we couldn't predict that, but we don't want to ruin your team. Got myself some T-Law.
Don't sell him short.
Got myself some T-Law and a 23 first for Kyler right after week 1.
Now he's just showing off. He's just fucking showing off. Joke out here.
Nice job, Joker. I'm just fucking.
Nice job, buddy.
Very good. You know what? Here, I'll give you, because T-Rock loved the soundboard. Well done, Joker. Roster baiting in front of everybody. I mean, cover that shit up. Get a room. God. Jay Jackson, I don't think Akers will ever be mistaken for Swift. That is unless Swift there's both a kid. Go to sleep, T-Rock. Go to sleep, bitch. Die, motherfucker, die.
I love you, T-Rock.
Yeah, I love you too, T-Rock. I like to mess with T-Rock because T-Rock gets it. You know, he'll let us do it. We need Pickett to sit. Do we have any more questions? Let me get caught up on questions.
We got a Rashad White. Is Rashad White dead? But this one
I'll get to that one. General Dynasty question: what are you doing with any of the Bears pass catchers? I mean, you have to hold. You can't get anything of value.
Let's just say, though, I am so worried about it that I'm not buying.
Okay? No, I'm not buying either. If I was going to buy one of the two, it would be Komet, and that shows you just how much I don't want any of them because Komet didn't have a pass catch for 2 weeks.
I will buy for something ridiculous like a late second.
Let me tell you what I would do as far as buy either one of these guys.
That's it.
Is I will buy the other owner completely panicking, and they're going to be a throw-in a deal.
Perfect. They're not the main target of the deal. I just get them tossed in like they're fucking Kadarius Toney.
Like they are, like they have died, like they were Cam Akers after week 1, and they're just a toss in. Oh, it's Nickelodeon. I have Mac Jones. Even still, T-Rock. No, it's best ball. Mike, can you tell him? Because he doesn't listen to me. I know he doesn't listen to you either, but I'm telling you to tell him.
He buys Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Do you think he listens to me?
And best ball and rebuilders never consolidate unless it is a steal.
Don't.
Period.
Man.
Period.
You have 8 firsts over the next 2 years. Just love it.
No.
Live it, love it.
Joker, he's not.
Rashad White isn't. He's not.
He's
dead.
not dead. It's just I said this all along. Like, you had to temper expectations.
For sure.
Brady doesn't want a rookie in there pass proing for him. It's just people did this with Keyshawn Vaughn. Now, I like Rachaad White, the talent, so much more, but people just
100%.
assume that Keyshawn Vaughn was going to be this third-round pick that is going to come in and Brady's there and, like, that team's just going to utilize him. It's like, no. It's a rookie running back that's not, like, a sure thing. It's going to take time. Don't panic if you have Rachaad White. If someone will throw him into a deal for free, get him. He's not dead.
Well, people also forget, too, his pass blocking grade for most people who did any kind of film study was fucking horrible in college.
Which, Mike, that was one of my biggest issues with Rachaad White before the landing spot was if you're a guy that I don't think can break a lot of tackles with his build and you're a receiving back, but you can't pass pro, what is your NFL role?
Like some teams scheme it where they don't ever have him stay in the block, right? But it's also kind of a tell. But
you're gonna have to basically play him in the slot. Like, I mean,
yeah, and he's not. And Tom Brady's checking at the line of scrimmage and being like, "No, your ass is staying in here to block, or you're at least gonna chip and help, and then maybe I'll find you." Mm-hmm. And that guy is like, "No." This is why he loves Leonard Fournette.
Right.
Like Lenny Stone's motherfucker.
Lenny will come meet you, and I don't care who you are. You could be the biggest dude out there. Lenny will come meet you. Even if he loses, he's going to come meet you.
Micah Parsons.
Is that young Joker? You got a young Joker sighting.
And then he trolls his ass on Twitter afterwards, which is why I love Lenny so damn much.
All right. None of your business. Nunya, you know what, man? New patron and hella active in the AMA. Love seeing it. How important is it to have an elite second quarterback for Superflex spot? Okay, you want me to feel this, or you want it, Mike?
It is important. It is important, but you can get by. Adam. I do like them high warp people. It's probably the thing that he put Burrow in here as like the target, and Burrow's kind of like a guy where I'm like, I have some pause. But Jameis Winston is god awful, Adam. So even then, like I'm looking at it going Winston in a 23 first for Joe Burrow. I might do that.
Let me tell you, this question comes down to me. What is the league? I'm not saying I don't want two elite quarterbacks in best ball because we did the numbers. We crunched them, right? We did the Zach Galifianakis as we talked about earlier. Right?
Numbers all over.
We crunched them, and it is still good in best ball, but in lineup leagues that are shorter, it's not crucial, but it's such an edge. So, like, let me try to help you understand what I mean and why it's so big. So, let's say you're start 9 and it's Superflex, right? So, if you're start 9 Superflex, you're talking 2 of those are quarterbacks, and they're going to score by far and away more than the field. And so, when you have an edge at 2 spots in quarterback over everybody else, and at the most highest scoring position, now you're talking about the 7 other spots. They're now playing catch up versus you, right? So in a shorter lineup league, it's not how important is it? Like you can get by without having it, but it is a cheat code if you can have 2 elite quarterbacks in a short lineup league versus in a best ball, especially if it's a long best ball, like it's a totally different animal.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm with you, man. You hit it on the head. It all comes down to roster size.
Zach, it's because that's how much we love you, buddy. You are,
buddy.
You're essentially our flesh and blood, man. You're a shithead, you know.
All right, let's rapid fire these off because your boy's got pee really bad.
Okay, let's do it quick. All right,
we're about to do it right here live.
Mike, you need to go and get it over with?
No, we're good, man. I'm here for the people.
All right. No shot in buying Fields, even if it's a single first.
Maybe.
I'll be honest. I'd prefer not to take the risk at this point. He's not set up for success. I mean, single first, if you want to do it, fine. The talent's there, but I'd prefer not to. Marlon says, "What up?" Good points. Okay, I do. I'm trying to get to only questions because Mike is looking at me like I hate you. Get me off the screen. I'm eyeing Eckler and/or Aaron Jones for depth. What would you say their prices are at the moment?
People got to be panicking on Eckler.
I think you might be able to buy both for a 23 first.
Both?
No. Individually.
Each. Oh yeah. That's probably what I'd go to. 23 first.
I would start there. I wouldn't pay a lot more, honestly. I just wouldn't do that. Zach, what about Zamir White? The question is answered with what about Zamir White?
What about him?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
I traded. I don't see a question, but like what you did, Marlon. I think.
Heckler, Michael Thomas, Waller in a second for Aaron Jones, Smitty, Juju, Knox, 23 first.
I like it.
Aaron Jones, Eckler, boom, you can cancel him out. Smitty, Michael Thomas, I'll take the Smitty side.
You get Juju and Knox and a 23 first versus Waller, and I like that side. Well done.
Great job, Marlon.
Well
That's
done.
why you're an Eagles fan, because you're smart.
You're smart.
Maybe he's smart because
is Burks looking like the most likely to bust? Or
No,
stop. He had one down. No, he's not looking like the most likely to bust at all.
He's looking like a normal rookie wide receiver.
He's looking like what I would say is he's looking like the wide receiver.
Gabe can tell you.
Right.
Gabe can tell you. You remember Gabe panicking on fucking Elijah Moore?
You know what? Yeah. You know what Treylon Burks is? He's the elite wide receiver of the group that's looking like the buy. The other ones are not buys because they're balling.
Because they're playing too well.
Right.
So go buy Treylon Burks. He's looking like a normal rookie wide receiver. It happens.
Piggybacking off of the Nunya, is it crucial? Yeah, I mean you do want to get a serviceable quarterback 3 for bye weeks and for injury issues, but
I'm not going to say it's crucial. Like in lineup leagues, I've seen people do just fine with like 2 good studs, and then they don't worry about their third. But one, they get lucky on injuries, they get lucky on COVID, they get lucky on all the bullshit. I don't like to do it because I don't like to run that risk. Because I never want to be the guy who's got to go get a quarterback. Because I know what I do to other people when they need a quarterback, and I don't want to be the guy on the receiving end of that. So,
let me just say we got one last question after this, and Mike's got to piss. We got to get out of here. But here's I am one of the guys that bent everyone over for quarterback value, and I ended up with only 2. And then the problem is when Dak gets hurt, now I can't go get one. I had to overbid for Cooper Rush to just get him. And now I can't buy one. Like, I can't buy one for anything reasonable. So the only problem with it is if you do this and one gets hurt or one has an injury, like, or is underperforming, you may not be able to buy one back. So just be careful with it. Last question. T-Rock's right. Great show, dudes. Hit the like, bitches. Hit the like. T-Rock's right. Hit the like. And then value of Bellinger in best ball 2 tight end. He's worth fab money, yeah.
A third? Like I'd pay a third.
I'd pay a third. If he's on waivers, I'd spend. What do you think, Mike? 30% of budget, 40% of budget.
Fab, I'd spend on him. If for some reason he was on waivers in a 2 tight end league.
It's 2 tight end. I would do 30 to 40.
Why the fuck is he still on waivers in a 2 tight end league? Is my first question.
Let's say somebody didn't know.
I'd say 30-40% pretty easily. And make it like a fucked up number too in that range too. Like if you're gonna go 30%, then make it like, if your budget's $100, make it like $33. Yeah. Like something that somebody wouldn't put in,
right?
In case somebody else is like, I should put 30% down. You know what I mean? I always like to do that on the waivers.
100.
I go like a random fucking number in that range where I don't think somebody else is gonna do it. And you'd be surprised how many times it wins it.
He's 100% right. Make it a little like do 1 or 2 numbers more than your bid just to make sure you have that little added edge, and it's a weird number. I think that's all. We appreciate everyone tapping in. Mike's got to get to the pisser, so we're going to bounce out of here. We'll be back next week. We'll be back for Sunday. If you're a patron, we got the shit show in the morning at 11 a.m. Central Time, and then at noon Central Time. I'm sorry, noon.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm talking my time, Eastern. 11 Eastern for the shit show. Noon Eastern for the start sit on Destination Devi, and we'll be back for the Sunday recap. Check out the trade show, which will now be dropping Saturday mornings. Mike?
Saturday fucking mornings, and 4D Chess still comes out Friday mornings, like always on the podcast feed for Destination Devi, as well as all the other fucking great content that we got going on over there. Like I lose track. We got so much good shit.
It got it all at Destination Devi.
There's pretty much anymore. It seems like there's something for every single day.
There really is. They got everything covered.
If you wake up and you're like, Destination Devi, boom, just find a YouTube page or a Spotify or Apple Podcast. There's probably something Destination Devi that dropped. Just thinking about it.
And if you're still here and haven't done it, hit the like button. We're out of here. Peace.
Love you. Peace.